Well, good morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and here we are just outside of Mishawaka, and Mark Linton is here with us to talk about renovation in the landscape design of this beautiful home. And Mark, you've added a pop of color here today, haven't you?
Actually, multiple places. Standing right here in front of us are these beautiful hydrangeas, and these are endless summer hydrangeas. They'll continue to bloom all summer long.
Lou and Denise wanted a little color, didn't they?
They did, and what they had here before was a lot of overgrown trees and shrubs. You can hardly even see the house.
Well, we're going to give you great ideas if this happens to be your situation, and we're going to show both the front and the back here at this home. So, Mark, why don't we get rolling here a little bit more and tell us additionally what you've done.
Okay, I'd like to share with the viewers kind of the thought through the design process we had here. Directly behind me, you see kind of a large expanse of a wall. That's an opportunity for something larger. We also wanted to soften and kind of tone down the neighbor's big expanse of a wall there, especially when you're up there by the front entrance or porch. So perfect place for this hemlock with occasional pruning. You can keep this pruned at about 9-10 feet is what we're looking for.
And with a retirement situation just upon Lou and Denise, they want low maintenance.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, yeah.
You're probably wondering what's up with these little stubs down here.
I wasn't going to ask, but Mark, what's up with these, huh?
Good question, Craig. What we did was repurpose some hostas.
Okay.
And these hostas were spectacular. The only thing is that they were way too big. And
so those were hostas?
They were hostas.
Couldn't tell.
They still are hostas.
Yeah.
You would think they've got quite a rabbit problem here, but what we did, because of this time of the year, we cut them down just so that they wouldn't have as much of a transplant shock. They're gonna be very forgiving, they'll recover and look absolutely beautiful. But if you're dividing and transplanting hostas at this time of year, that's what we recommend to do.
All right, divide and conquer from Linton's. Lintons.com, the website, if you want to find out more. Next, Mark?
Now, Craig, we've got these beautiful hydrangeas in front of the window here. These are gonna get just tall enough, a little higher than the base of the window, that you actually will be able to see and enjoy them inside. Now, the hydrangeas, of course, are deciduous, meaning they lose their leaves during the fall and the winter time. So we have positioned a boxwood here in front that becomes the bones of the landscape.
Who gave you that idea?
It is a good idea.
Yeah.
And then we've also added a nice selection and variety of perennials. We've got the astilbes with those beautiful spikes of pink flowers there and fern-like type of leaves. And those will continue to bloom throughout the season as well.
Hard to top the color that we're seeing along the line here, Mark.
Now here in front of me, this is a beautiful specimen, red Japanese lace leaf maple.
Wow.
This is about a 15, 20-year-old tree that we've been growing.
Is that right?
They grow incredibly slowly, needless to say, but the neat thing about this is these rich burgundy colored leaves. They maintain this look spring, summer, and fall, and contrast nicely, shows up in front of the tan color siding that we have here.
Is it okay to mention that there's even some brighter red in there too?
Oh, of course, and you always get this with the new growth, and so that different shade of red is just simply the new growth that's coming out.
That is excellent. Neat. Very cool.
Craig, we've got some balance and symmetry going on here. A couple of pyramidal boxwoods, one on each side of the entrance, a nice framing of the front porch. We also have some different colors of astilbes working with odd numbers. We've got a grouping of 3 of them here with those red plumes, and then we've got a pink one just to your left. Now these little guys, these are great butterfly attractors. These are called pincushion flowers, and it's one of the very few perennials that actually blooms all seasons, spring, summer, and fall, all the way up until frost.
Very good. Hey, we featured some boxwoods not too long ago, and I know later on in the program today we're going to be talking about it too.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we've got different types of boxwoods here. We've got the globe boxwood in front of the house. We've got pyramidal boxwoods by the front porch. Something that's unique to us is a fan-shaped boxwood.
I like that.
Now, you can't plant a seed and expect it to grow in a fan shape like this. This is something that our nursery
Needs a
staff...
little direction, doesn't it?
Yeah, our nursery staff's worked pretty hard on that, but it's perfect for softening this wall. We've got a very narrow, tight area in between the sidewalk and the house, and that fits perfectly.
Did Lou and Denise like that?
They absolutely love it, yes. And now as you pull up to the garage here, we're looking for, again, for some balance and symmetry. These are actually hollies. We've featured these on the show before. It's a sky pencil holly. And we've got one on each side. The nice thing about them is they're compact, they're very narrow, but gives us some vertical height there.
Well, a good transitional point to maybe move to the backyard. What do you say, Mark?
Okay, let's go.
Well, Mark, so here we are in the backyard now.
Well, we did the same magic back here as what we did in the front.
You have. It's beautiful. I know Lou likes the backyard look. We'll talk to him more about that later. But what do you got going on here?
Well, his wife, Denise, absolutely loves hydrangeas. And so we incorporated 3 different types of hydrangeas in. And this is our tree hydrangea, which is a very unique type of tree. You know, Craig, most trees bloom in the springtime. This is a summer blooming tree. And so we've positioned this back here because they've got this beautiful patio, outdoor living area. They've got some color that they can enjoy during the summertime.
So the trees do bloom in the summer then, huh? As
They
opposed
do.
to the hydrangea?
Started blooming several weeks ago, and it'll continue to bloom all the way up until the fall.
Wow, that's really unique. What else is going on, Mark?
Well, right here in front of us, we're always about repurposing and giving as much bang for the buck. This is a little dwarf Alberta spruce. It actually was part of the original landscape. We had some others that were here as well. And so we did some transplanting and incorporated them into the new design.
All right, so in a renovation, you like to keep as much as you can within reason, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing that we do is go around and kind of evaluate everything and decide if we can get some additional use out of it before we just decide to get rid of it.
Yeah. And over here is a memory from the last design, right? That has some special significance.
Denise unfortunately lost her daughter, and this is a memorial to her daughter. It was part of the original landscape. We wanted to give it a prominent location here, surrounded by these beautiful drift roses, which will continue to bloom spring, summer, and fall. They're little miniature ground cover roses. They don't get all that large, but the neat thing is that they provide a lot of color.
Yeah, nice balance to the statue too.
It is.
Next.
Well, as we continue down here, we've positioned another hydrangea. Now this one's going to get a little taller, and you can see we strategically placed this in between the windows. No flowers have started to appear yet, but you can see flower buds are getting ready to put on a nice show of color. And then, Craig, we also incorporated some perennials next to the patio, mixed in between the evergreens. We've got some beautiful cone flowers there that will be attracting butterflies. And then we also have these beautiful moonbeam coreopsis.
Now, you started this project actually last year, finished it, didn't you, last year for Lou and Denise in the backyard?
We did an additional project last year, and it was privacy plantings. When Lou and Denise originally contacted us, they had this, what I'd say was an unsightly view looking from inside their house or off of their back patio. And so we planted this row of hemlocks.
Okay, very good. Well, that was one of the things that Lou really likes to talk about, as we'll find out here in just a second. Well, Mark, we've talked about Lou and talked about Lou's desire to have a different kind of look back here to hide something. Can you describe that something that Lou was trying to hide with this whole line of hemlocks that you developed for him?
Well, actually, I recall the first time I met Lou and Denise, came to their house, and they said, "You're probably wondering what you're here for." And kind of got me wondering. And we walked to the back sliding glass door, and we stood there, looked out. He says, "That."
That.
Yes. And unfortunately, they had a very undesirable view. And the goal was to hide that, to soften it. And we not only wanted to hide it during the spring, summer, and fall, but throughout the winter time as well.
So Lou didn't say, "Okay, Mark, I want you to put a line of hemlocks in here to hide this site," but he just said, "I don't want to see that." And why did you choose the hemlock?
Well, good question, Craig. There's not a lot of choices or options. Things that are in the evergreen family, like all the spruce trees, the fir trees, the pine trees, they need full sun. They need full sun all the way around. The neat thing about hemlocks is that they grow in full sun. They also grow in dense shade. We've got two very different light conditions here.
Yeah.
Sun on the front, shade on the back. And by doing the hemlock selection, that ensures both Lou and Denise that they're going to have these hemlocks here looking nice, not only now, but also into the future.
And they really just fit right in place, don't they?
It blends in very well.
Oh man, I tell you what, no wonder Lou likes what you've done, huh?
Well, thank you.
Well, what a privilege it is to have Lou join us now. Lou, good to see you.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Thank you for inviting us out to your beautiful home. Not only is the home beautiful, but what you've done around the home with the landscaping through Linton's, it's just stunning.
Yes, thanks to Mark and his crew, all superior people. They did a great job over the past 2 years getting us fixed up here.
Now, what did your wife like most about what Mark and his crew at Linton's did?
I think the front and the back of the house here probably the best for her. Yeah.
Safe to say that what you liked best was behind us?
Yes, those trees saved my life on this patio, basically. We have a great view here, except that the property behind us had a whole lot of stubble that I believe you've seen, and we couldn't do anything about it because it's not on our property line.
Yeah.
So after I surveyed the property, we had Mark come out and he recommended those 13 hemlocks, and they're a lifesaver.
Well, Mark's going to come out again here. He's got a little present for you, a little surprise maybe. Mark, welcome back.
Thank you.
Lou, just want to thank you for allowing us not only to work for you and Denise, but also sharing your home and its new landscape with all the viewers out there.
Very good. Glad to be here. Glad we did it. It was a magnificent performance. Believe
Well,
me.
thank you.
Thanks again, Lou.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Right.
We'll be back right after this, so stay with us.